Coming up on today's University Report, we get an exclusive interview with a University of Minnesota alum who is making her Olympic dreams come true, and a local business's reaction to a bill being reviewed by the Board of Regents. But first, an interview with the president-elect for the Minnesota Student Association. Good morning and welcome to today's University Report. I'm Kendall Mark.
And I'm Ben Corey. The new president and vice president of the Minnesota Student Association are here today for a quick look into what to expect over the coming year. Congratulations, Jillian and Taylor, and thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Can you two tell us what changes students can expect to see around campus in the coming year?
Sure. I think the biggest change, Ben, is that students can expect student government to matter on campus and in their lives. Right now, most students don't even know what student government does, so we really want to make sure that it's an integral part of the student experience and the university. So a couple of examples of realistic goals we've set are achieving better lighting on and off campus for safety, and also pursuing a medical amnesty policy, so if a student needs to call for help, they won't be punished.
Awesome. And Jillian, what made you focus on these changes?
Yeah, all the things that Taylor just talked about are things that we're extremely passionate about, and we think that we can get them done.
Great.
And the two of you have anything else you'd like to tell the student population, your fellow students?
I encourage anyone who's interested in student government or making a difference on campus to get involved. It's a great place, it's a great platform to make a difference. So you should check us out online at msa.umn.edu, and you're all welcome to show up at our meetings and just become a part of the organization.
All right, well, thanks for joining us today. You got some big shoes to fill, and good luck in the upcoming year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up after the break, we look into how having alcohol at TCF Bank Stadium could affect local businesses.
Because it was there. Because determination overcame distance.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Because the unsolvable was invitation enough. Why are we driven to discover? Because we can change the course of history. Because tomorrow's visionaries need focus today. At the University of Minnesota, with each student comes an opportunity to set their sights higher and to show them the way, so our graduates can shape the future and fulfill the dreams they haven't yet dreamt. Because renewable energy can sustain us all. Our students envision the sun powering homes on every block, wind-blown ideas launching entirely new economies, and fertile soils fueling cars and people alike, protecting the harmony between humanity and nature. Because self-expression can move 1,000 souls. Be it a song or a dance, a canvas or a poem, the arts are vital to the U of M experience, as are self-discovery and moments of sheer amazement. Because cancer can be conquered by targeting medicines, customizing treatments, and transplanting stem cells, incurable cancers can become survivable. Terminal can be redefined as treatable, and optimism can spread once again. Because human rights need champions. From classrooms in Minnesota to courtrooms in Uganda, assembling a collective voice for change allows dignity to return and extends human rights across the globe. Because clean water ensures quality of life. It's essential to the health of all nations, so we're studying models and molecules. We are committed to making clean water flow freely, from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the slums of Mumbai. We share the belief that anything is possible, because at the University of Minnesota, discoveries unfold, breakthroughs happen, and history is forever changed.
Welcome back. There's been talk about allowing alcohol into TCF Bank Stadium ever since it opened.
But what would that do to local businesses? Charity Best has the story.
Will Gopher fans soon be able to purchase and drink alcohol inside of the TCF Stadium? A bill allowing alcohol to be served inside of the stadium is currently being reviewed by the Board of Regents. But will local bars lose patrons if the bill goes through?
We don't think we'll be affected that much. I mean, initially, I think the novelty of the idea will be great, but overall, it's just like everyone knows. When they come here, they know what they're going to get. They know it's not going to take that long to get their food, get something to drink, and they can be on their way. So we fully expect to stay strong.
Buffalo Wild Wings is famous nationwide for providing access to some of the best sporting events. They also provide a great selection of food and alcohol. Managers and patrons at the Station 19 Buffalo Wild Wings are optimistic that business won't suffer if alcohol is served in the stadium.
I think we might be fine. And nobody has our sauces at all.
Customer service is one of the restaurant's core values.
Like I said, what we offer, as a restaurant, being the industry leader that we are, and the quality of service we provide, we don't think we'll have to make the adjustments.
As of now, the Board of Regents will have the final say. Charity Best, University Report.
I used to go to all the Gopher football games at the Metrodome, and they allowed beer there, so I don't know if it'll make much of a difference.
It's a bold strategy. We'll see how it works out for them.
I guess. Spring Jam is just around the corner, and the bands that will be performing this next week were just released by student unions and activities this past Wednesday. The concert will start with local hip-hop indie artist Prof on Saturday, April 21st at 4:30. The Cataracts, who are featured in the New Boys single Backseat, will play next around 7, and last but not least, known for switching styles and pushing boundaries, New Boys will be on at 8:30. The concert will be held at Coffin Memorial Union's Riverbend Plaza, and students can get in for free.
University of Minnesota researchers are collaborating with Ancestry.com to create a database of the 1940 census. The information gathered from the 132 million Americans surveyed in the census will be included in the database, and the collaboration will create the largest database made available for scientific research, and all of the information in the database will be available to researchers and the public. Graduate students at the U made a decisive decision against unionizing last week. 62% of graduate students voted against unionizing. Despite the 2-year campaign for unions, graduate student workers, the United and the United Auto Workers Union fought for the vote. They say they are disappointed by the outcome. If you're looking for a new way to get active, or even just to have some fun, a bike ride may be your answer, maybe even with a twist. Justin Rice tells us how.
Days lure most people outdoors, and choosing a physical activity can be challenging. Patrick Stevenson and his friends developed an easy way to get people biking every day this month. 30 Days of Biking, which kicked off April 1st, is an initiative to get people pedaling alongside their community.
Distance is not really a factor. People are always like, how far do I have to ride each day? Well, it doesn't really matter. You could ride around the block, you could ride 100 miles, you could ride 2 miles. The point is to ride somewhere.
Each year, people pledge their commitment by signing up on the social media webpage. The first year,
like 300 names on Twitter, and that was the first year. And then the second time we did it was in September, and that had 600 people sign up. And then it's just ballooned.
30 Days of Biking, which started as a simple idea, now spans across the world to 88 countries. This year with 3,500 members. Despite the popularity for Stevenson,
it just inspires passion in people, which is an awesome thing.
For more information on the event, look them up on Twitter and Facebook, or go to Freewheel Midtown Bike Center. Justin Rice, University Report.
I'm a big fan of biking myself. I think this is a pretty good way to get out there and, try something new.
I don't know about that. I like having 2 feet on the ground. So I'll go with 1 maybe, and go with my Razor scooter or something.
Yeah, you used to pull that off back in middle school, right?
It works. Gopher Sports is live from Florida from the Frozen Four. Stay tuned for an inside look when we come back.
How do we generate more and waste less? At the University of Minnesota, we are powering a revolution, developing a more secure, smart grid that can recharge the economy while respecting the environment. Because supplying energy can be less costly. Because our power grid can power the future.
The Gopher men's hockey team played a tough game in the Frozen Four tournament last night.
And our very own John Tipton was in Tampa to tell the story.
Thanks, guys. Well, the Gopher season ended last night with a 6-1 loss to Boston College in the semifinal round of the Frozen Four. It was a rough night for the men's hockey team as they outshot Boston College the entire game. Jake Hansen's lone goal at the start of the third period would be the only tally on the scoreboard for the Gophers. Boston College continued to capitalize on power plays and mental errors committed by Minnesota. And even though the team fell short of winning a championship, head coach Don Lucia said they have a lot to be proud of.
There's about 5 great things you can do in a season. That's win your league, you can win your playoff, you can get in the NCAAs, you can get to a Frozen Four, and you can win a national title. And you know what? We did 3 of them. And that's something for these seniors to feel good about.
The team finished their entire season with an overall record consisting of 28 wins, and the future only looks brighter for this young squad, with 12 sophomores and 7 freshmen. John Tipton, University Reports.
You know, that game last night, that was a tough pill to swallow. That goalie for Boston College was just standing on his head, though. Give him credit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really want to talk about that. But, however, I think John's hair was a little interesting, don't you?
Oh, yeah. He was all down for the cause. He really wanted that team to win. It's too bad they just couldn't pull through for him.
Yep.
Student Athlete Appreciation Day is going on nationwide today. It is a day to celebrate high school and college level athletes who have excelled both on the field and in the classroom. The University of Minnesota is taking part in this celebration for the 25th year in a row. It will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Bierman Field Athletic Building gym, and all attendees get free food. And it is not just current University of Minnesota athletes that are being recognized. Swimmer Jillian Tyler's college coaches remember her as a student of the sport, but internationally, she is the newest Olympic hopeful for Team Canada. Taylor Tome tells us more.
And that's her. She gives everything she has to the sport, and it's fun to see somebody like that gain this type of success.
The Calgary, Alberta native arrived in Minnesota in 2008 as just another stop on the road to the Olympics.
I guess the little seed that was planted in my head started when I was 10, and it was just, I want to go to the Olympics. And
A 13-time All-American with 4 straight All-America honors and an 8-time Big Ten champ. Her resume boasts multiple individual honors.
I got emotional after I made the team because I was like, you know, this is more than what I ever dreamed of as a kid.
And it's those emotions that arise when true dreams become reality. But with a lifetime best swim of 1 minute, 7.18 seconds at the Canadian Olympic Trials in Montreal, Coach Kramer still believes she has a faster swim left in her. But this won't be Jill's first time on the Olympic starting blocks. In the months to follow the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, she was among those suffering from post-Olympic depression syndrome and asking herself, now what?
I remember walking into my coach's office and just saying, you know, I'm not swimming today, I just can't.
To see somebody battle through that kind of adversity from high, low, back to a high is, that's probably my favorite memory of Jill.
And there is no question that Jill's standards are well within reach of the wall.
You know, I'm here for 4 years or 5 years, and I consider myself a Gopher swimmer, and I'll be a Gopher swimmer for life.
Once a Gopher, always a Gopher. Kayla Tome, University Report.
This may be Jill's last year competing, so cheer her on July 28th through August 4th at the Summer Olympics in London. Stay tuned for a look at the weekend weather forecast.
Energy. How do we generate more and waste less? At the University of Minnesota, we are powering a revolution, developing a more secure, smart grid that can recharge the economy while respecting the environment. Because supplying energy can be less costly. Because our power grid can power the future.
Welcome back. We are looking at a wet holiday weekend with showers predicted for Saturday and Sunday.
Next week will be much cooler than we're used to, with highs mostly in the 50s. That's all for this week's University Report. I'm Ben Corey.
And I'm Kendall Mark. Thanks for tuning in.